Hello students at Salahaldin International School. My name is Chris and I work for BridgeU, and I'm here today to help re-engage you with the platform. You've got some important decisions coming up, so it's important that you know exactly how BridgeU works and where you can go to get help. So enjoy the presentation and here we go. So today we're going to be looking at how to use tasks to make sure you're on track and how to submit them to review so that your advisor knows exactly where you're at and how to help you. University visits, in the case at the moment of them being virtual visits, where you can go to sign up for these and view them, look at previous events and look at upcoming events at your school. Assessments, how you can take personality, learning styles, multiple intelligences assessments from Keys to Succeed and upload them onto BridgeU so that you've got a record of how these influences affect you as you go through different years at school and university. The strategy advisor, to make sure that we are capturing all of your amazing experiences but also giving you recommendations on where you have gaps, how you might be able to improve. The careers tool, so that you know what type of careers you might be interested in going into and what your pathway to getting into those careers is. The profile builder, so that you're entering all of your relevant information in order for us to provide university recommendations to you. And the universities section, where you can look at all your university matches, shortlist them, and also how to then carry out research on BridgeU.
When you log on to BridgeU and you visit the home page, you should see a series of tasks that have been set by one of your advisors. These include assessments, which we come to on another clip, things that you can do on BridgeU, which will have a clickable link and that will take you to the relevant tool on BridgeU, and custom tasks, which is something outside of BridgeU, but it may involve visiting a different website or responding to a message from your advisor. You can see on the right hand side the status of each of the tasks. When they're initially set, they will be considered in progress, which is marked by a blue colour. It's really important that once you have completed the task, you come back here and click on Send to Review. Doing this enables your advisor to keep track of the task that you've completed and when you've received messages. If they have commented on any of your tasks to help you along the way, these will be available in the comments section. You can also use the comment section to respond to your advisor, or you might be required to write an answer to one of the task questions in the comments. To complete a task, click on it and it will take you to that tool on BridgeU. You can see here I can still access this tool without having to complete a task just by navigating directly to it. But if you do navigate away from the task screen, remember to go back and then mark that as complete. Once you've sent it to review, it will be orange and in review with your advisor. Once they've reviewed the task, they will then mark it as complete and that will appear as green and done on your task list. To view your assessments on BridgeU, click on the Assessments tab on the left hand side. This may include careers assessments or other assessments that your teachers decide to set you. For this session we are going to be looking at the Keys to Succeed assessments. There are 3 available on BridgeU: learning styles, multiple intelligences, and personality type. Click on the assessment you wish to take, and then read the instructions that you've been set. If there is an access key for the first time you're creating your Keys to Succeed account, copy that information now, and then click on the website. Enter in your access key, and then you have to fill out your information to complete your account. Once done, accept the terms and conditions and click Save and Continue. Then you will have access to the Human Resources account. Click on the assessment you wish to take, make sure you're in a quiet, focused space, and take the assessment. It should take 15 to 20 minutes. Once you've taken the assessment, you can download the PDF of your results and upload it by dragging it into this box here, or clicking and choosing the file on your computer. If you're not sure what to do, head to the Help Center and search for Keys to Succeed. There is a lot of resources available to help you through the assessments, including, for students, 3 webinars, 1 on each of the assessments, which explains exactly how to take them, and also access to help sheets and criteria checklists to help you form an action plan once you've looked at your results. To explore careers through BridgeU, you can either use the Keys to Succeed assessments, which contain their own careers tool, or you can use the careers tool on the left hand side. If using Keys to Succeed, visit the Help Center and search for Keys to Succeed, find the resource links article and download the careers cluster help sheet. This will help you to convert the careers that are listed in Keys to Succeed over to the careers that are listed in BridgeU. Let me demonstrate. Clicking on the Careers tool brings up a page with several career families that you can explore. For any that you're interested in or that appear on your Keys to Succeed careers clusters, click on them. Click on a career to learn more about it. It'll give you a brief description of that career, any related degree subjects, salary information, and related skills. We use a company called Burning Glass who aggregate job posting website data from 40,000 different sites, and this will show you the most requested skills for actual job openings. Some of them you may not know, in which case you'll have to go and research them. Other ones may be really in line with your current skills. Further down, you'll see the monthly demand trend graphs. This looks at how many job postings are likely to be available in this chosen career in the future when you're graduating from university, using data from the past of how many jobs are posted each month. It'll also show you this data for the general category of job. If you're interested in this job, you can click on the star sign, or the degree subject, you can click on interested, and it will build a report on your right hand side. If you'd like to explore similar jobs, click on the job title and navigate to that different profession, and again you can mark any degree subjects you're interested in or the career itself. Once you have selected different careers that you're interested in, you can view your report down on the right hand side by scrolling down and clicking View Careers Report. This document will summarize all of the information for those chosen careers that you're interested in, and if you scroll right to the bottom, you'll see those related degree subjects. These academic interests are what you can put into your profile builder in order to find courses that match your subject interests on BridgeU. If you've been set the careers report as an assessment, you can click on Print Report, and instead of printing it off, you can save it as a PDF and then upload that PDF just as you did with the KTS assessments. The BridgeU Strategy Advisor helps you to identify experiences that you currently have, how to get those ideas across to universities when you apply, and also identifies gaps in your experience to help you improve. Step 1 is simply a case of collecting your experiences. If you're not sure what to write, read the prompt and the example below. Give as much detail as you can when you're writing the experience. For example, when did you do it? What did you do? And what did you learn from the experience? Try to give some context if it's not clear what that experience was. Write the experience in the box and then hit Add, and it will appear on the right hand side. Once you've gone through all the prompts and collected all the experiences you can think of, the next step is then identifying what that experience shows about you as a person. Show me the strategy factors will bring up the different strategy factors and explain each one. Does the experience you've written about show that you're a critical thinker? Does it show that you've got an interest in the subject outside of the classroom? Read all of these so you understand what they mean, and then tag each of the experiences with the relevant strategy factors. You can tag multiple strategy factors per experience. Once you've completed this, the next step is to learn where there might be some gaps in your experience, as well as areas you're strong in, and how to improve so that you have experience across all the areas that is really strong and you can talk about it a lot when you're applying. Some of these examples might not be possible in the current climate because of lockdown. However, we do indicate a lot of websites and useful online activities that you can be undertaking right now, which are going to come really in handy when you come to make your applications. Now is actually quite a good time to be doing online courses. Lots of companies are making resources more available than they've ever been before because of the current situation. So take full advantage of this, network with people online, and try and learn as much as you can during this time. Next, you have a report. This will summarize all of the experiences and the relevant strategy factors. It's quite useful when you're writing your essays, because if you're thinking of applying to different countries, they have different requirements. So in the US, the same sort of experiences that you're going to be using when you apply to the UK, you want to be highlighting different things like leadership, teamwork, global perspective, resilience. Whilst in the UK, the same experiences, sure, you can talk about them, but if you are, you need to be talking about the subject, how it gave you an interest in that subject, how it shows you have an interest in the subject outside the classroom, and also how it's going to help you pursue a career in that area. It's important to note that the teachers who are writing your reference or letter of recommendations will also see these experiences. Therefore, a bit of extra incentive for you to write lots of details, because they can then pull on pieces of information that you've written about when they're writing your reference and make it even stronger, which only is going to help your application. Jumping back to step 3. Once you've acted on some of these suggestions, make sure periodically you come back and go back to step 1 and enter in any new experiences you have, and then go through, tag them, and see how to improve. Keep doing this, and by the time you apply to university, hopefully you'll have loads of things you can talk about and you'll really stand out as a candidate. University visits, whether they are in person or online, as is more the case right now, will appear in the University Visits section on the left-hand menu. Any upcoming events will be displayed, and you can click on the event to get some more information. If you have shortlisted one of the attending universities, you will automatically be notified that there is an event going on involving those universities. If not, you can still join the event by going to University Visits. It may be that you might have to register for the event, in which case go to the link that's provided and follow the regular registration process, and then mark attending so that your advisor knows that you're going to be attending that session. If there are any university visits that you missed, you might want to look at past events and see if there are any recordings for online university showcases or online virtual visits that have happened in the past.
Completing a profile builder. There are 4 sections to the profile builder. The first is your basic information, which includes your date of birth, how do you identify, and where you're currently living, as well as the different countries that you might be interested in studying. The 10 countries you can see are countries that we have enough data that we can provide relevant matches to you based on your interests and also your target grades. If you want to study outside of these 10 countries, feel free to write down the country name in this box here. We may not be able to match you in those countries, but we will be able to shortlist any university in any country in the world. When complete, click Next. The next section, Education. This is going to need you to project forward and think about what are the grades you're going to be finishing school with. In order to add a grade, click New Grade, select the system that you're working within, for example IB, select which type of IB class you're taking and the subject, and then what level you anticipate you will achieve. Then click Save to save that grade and add the next one. Once you have listed all of your classes in the Education section, you're then ready to move on. It's important to remember to be very realistic with the grades you enter here. We use this to calculate your chance of being accepted or receiving an offer from the university. So if you're putting in very high grades, that information that's coming back won't be very accurate. Similarly, if you put in very low grades. So try and be as accurate as possible here. You can always edit them afterwards, or if you've had conversations with your teachers to give you more information about your grades. If you're applying to the US, it will also ask you about SAT or ACT scores. Subject interests. What you want to study at university might not necessarily be something you're currently studying. Therefore, you can put in any interested subjects that you would like to potentially study at university at this stage. To find out more information about a subject, you can click on More Info. That'll bring up a brief description, and if that sounds like it's exactly what you'd like to do, you can add that to see what university matches and courses pop up for engineering. If you've got quite a specific interest, you might want to look at the subfields within a wider category. Each of these will have a brief description, and it may also have more subfields. The more you click through the subfields, the more specific the course it is that you're looking for, and you can add these courses here as well. If you'd like to just search directly for a course, click on the search bar and then type it in, for example psychology, and it will come up with any courses related to that search. If you find you're getting lots and lots of matches, you probably put in a lot of subject areas and use those wider categories. If you're not getting very matches at all, you've probably been very specific in your subject interests, so try and widen the net a bit. Clicking next will bring you on to the next question. Are you open to exploring courses slightly outside those areas that you've selected? If you've always had your head set on doing a particular course, for example, finance, then you might want to say, no, just show me the subjects that I've selected, please. Click next to then move to the next stage of the profile builder, which is your personal preferences. This is the type of environment you want to be at university and the outcomes for that university. Examples are the size of the university, the setting, city or rural, whether you prefer to be taught in a lecture style or a smaller seminar style, these sorts of things. Once you've added all of your personal preferences, you can click on Get University Matches, and we're going to be talking about this in the next section. You don't have to go to your profile builder every time to get to your university matches and shortlist. You can jump straight to universities on the left-hand side. We display your universities in 3 columns: Reach on the left, Match in the middle, and Safety on the right. The way we put them into the columns is using this number here, the chance of acceptance. What we do is take the 3 previous years of successful applicants and we look at their grades. We then compare those grades to the ones that you have put into your profile builder to indicate your chance of acceptance. However, this is just a number of academic grade comparisons. We cannot take into account how amazing you are, your life experience, your work experience. You may well be a much better candidate than the average that applies there. However, there is no data that we can use to compare this. So, use the chance of acceptance to help manage risk. You probably wouldn't want to only apply to Reach universities unless you really are an exceptional candidate, in case you don't get accepted onto any of them. Similarly, maybe you don't want to only apply to safety options. Try and be a little bit more aspirational and reach for 1 or 2 of your choices. You can see that for some countries or courses, we don't have a specific chance of acceptance figure. However, we will put it into a Reach, Match or Safety column based on the academic rigour of the course and its world rankings. You can look at one of the countries in your profile builder individually instead of all of them. So let's take a look at the UK. You'll see 3 matches in each column, so 9 overall. If you wanted to see more matches than that, you can just click on these filters here and only look at your Reach options, then your Match, then your Safety. That will display 9 of each university in that specific filter. If you wanted to scroll through and see other matches, just click the Next button, and that will bring up the next 9. In order to learn more about the university or course, you can click on More Info for a brief overview. This will give you your chance of acceptance, the percentage of successful applications, so this is how many people applied versus how many people got in. Entry requirements. This is really useful to look at any specific subjects that are required. So if you're still waiting to choose your the subject that you study in your senior year at school, this is really important to look at and make sure that you are selecting the right subjects in order to get you onto this course. However, if you're not currently studying that subject, maybe you might want to take a course in that subject and then reapply to university with those qualifications. It's always worth checking on the university website to ensure that these additional requirements haven't changed in the last week or so. The preference fit is comparing what you've put in your profile to the information we have on the university. Even if it's not a perfect match, we will still present it and give you an indication of how well suited you are to that course. If you really like the look of a university, but your chance of acceptance is lower than you might like, you can click on these 3 dots and have a look at more courses at this university. This will then display all of the courses available at the university, with the ones that are well aligned to your subject choices at the top, and you might well find some courses here where you have a higher chance of being accepted. It may be that the courses are less well known, or potentially there's more space for candidates there. If any of these courses take your interest, you can click Add and it will add them to your shortlist and remove them from your matches page. Jumping back, you may have also spotted there is a Students Also Shortlisted option. If you wanted to see what other students have shortlisted who have also shortlisted this course or university, you can get an indication of the other types of courses they're looking at, which might be a nice way of discovering new options for you. If you don't like the look of a university, you can discard it, and then the next most relevant match will appear in its place. If you've accidentally discarded a university or course and you want to get it back, click on Discarded Matches and you will view all of the ones that you've discarded in the past. The idea is that you consider each match on its merits and think about actually, is it a well-suited university to me, in order to get a shortlist. Now that shortlist might start with quite a lot of universities, and then as you do your research it pares down into a smaller and smaller list. However, I wouldn't aim for a shortlist of more than around 50 universities, because that is a lot of research for you to be carrying out. If you have any questions about the matcher, click on the live chat icon in the bottom right hand corner and ask us a question. To your shortlist, head to universities and then click on the shortlist tab. Here is when you can add universities from any country outside of the ones we match in. Click on Add University and Course and type in the name of the university to add it. To carry out further research on a university, click on the name of the course or university and we'll bring up a summary page here. If we've got module information, we'll display it, and we'll always display the university details if we have it too. Most of your research will be carried out on the university website, so make sure you have a look at that. And any information that you've found out, you can keep a note here. It's really important that you keep accurate notes as soon as you find out some information about a university that's relevant. This will then help you when you are comparing your university shortlist to decide which ones you would actually like to apply for. This is also very useful if you're in a university virtual visit, and then you can be jotted down all of your notes straight into BridgeU so it keeps it all in one place. It's also good if you are able to visit a university, as BridgeU is mobile friendly, so you can have your phone out and be taking notes about whatever the rep is saying as they're saying it. There's also a map of the university, in case you don't know where it is, and some interesting places nearby to do with active life, culture, food and shopping. If you'd like to remove a university from your shortlist because it's no longer for you, click on Remove from Shortlist. If you would like to apply to a university, click on Add to Application List, and just ensure you select the relevant deadline and also the route that you're applying via. When you add that, it will move it from your shortlist into your university applications page. It's very important that you keep your applications list up to date. Adding a university to your applications list ensures that your advisor knows how they can support you with their application, for example, sending documents on your behalf. Once you've heard back from a university, make sure you mark whether you were successful or unsuccessful, or whether you withdrawn the application or waitlisted, are deferring, you don't know, or received a conditional or unconditional offer in the case of UK universities. Once you've then decided whether you are or aren't attending different universities, make sure you come and mark this as well, or let your advisor know so that they can mark it for you. This data is collected in order to help future generations at your school to know exactly the type of students who are going to different universities, which will help your advisor advise them even better. So thank you in advance for completing all of this information. Okay, thank you very much for listening today. I hope this has been useful for you. Just want to leave you with a few closing thoughts. Make sure you're logging into BridgeU regularly and checking your tasks and notifications, and if you've got any messages from your advisors. You will receive an email once you have been set a task, but it's worth checking on BridgeU frequently anyway. When you've completed your task, make sure you send it to review so that your advisor knows that you've completed that task. Also remember you can visit the Help Centre, which is in the bottom left of your left-hand navigation panel, to get any help articles or videos that are going to explain how to use the tools again. Or in the live chat, which is in the bottom right of the screen when you're logged in, if you want to ask us a question directly and speak to someone. There's also plenty of resources on our website, which is www.bridge-u.com. Head to the resources section, and that's also where you'll find any upcoming events and recordings of previous events, for example, university showcases. Good luck with all of your research.